passionate people? Welcome to Vegan News. I got a new camera, so it's a little bit better quality. Don't tell anybody. The largest travel company in Britain is dropping tours to animal attractions like dolphin shows and circuses and other things as part of their packages. The Telegraph frames this issue as dolphin and elephant tourism is under threat. This is all a result of an independent report that was commissioned by Thomas Cook that found dolphins and elephants being kept in cruel conditions. Many of the elephants were chained, showing signs of distress, had badly damaged skin, and the report also makes notes of how they were trained to stand on very small platforms, balancing the entire weight of their body, made to spin hoops, and perform tug-of-war with other elephants. The audit was done by Global Spirit, and they investigated 25 separate attractions that were popular and used within the tourism industry featuring dolphins and elephants. They found that 16 of the 25 did not meet animal welfare standards in the United Kingdom. The UK travel agency and the ABTA. Thomas Cook, who owns the second largest travel agency in the UK, has taken to the decision of stopping all ticket sales to such attractions that involve dolphins and elephants. The Wildlife SOS Sanctuary outside of Agra, India. The elephants are subjected to food restrictioning, beatings, and very cold weather that they are not acclimated to in that region. Now, that attraction has been something we had to read into. I looked through the list of what they did list, but in the actual report, they refused to reveal what was found specifically at specific attractions. They won't call them out. Another of the companies they work with, called Ocean World in the Dominican Republic, offers dolphin swimming experiences in many countries, including Salina, Turkey, the Dominican Republic where they're based, Cuba, India, and some to be announced in the future, unfortunately. The tour company's chief executive, Peter Frankhauser, had this to say: "Our industry has not changed fast enough. By taking these attractions off sale, we are sending a message that we won't accept anything less than full compliance with the welfare standards our customers would expect." Thomas Cook's decision has been applauded, as you would expect from many animal welfare advocates, and the Whale and Dolphin Conservation Group has spoken out congratulating him as well. They joined Virgin Holidays, who is another tourism company who has banned dolphin swimming but not elephant shows. The named attractions that have been dropped by these companies were asked for comment. None of them responded. The Sunday Times actually contacted the Thai embassy asking about these companies, and the Thai embassy responded, "It is illegal in Thailand to maltreat elephants, and legal charges may be brought against those involved." Elephant camps are one means through which elephants can be properly cared for. Without work and tourism, coupled with the banning of logging and protected forest areas in Thailand, elephant owners will have no means to care for the animals and will resort to street begging. They shouldn't have them to begin with, so boo-hoo for losing your livelihood. I don't care. Root, root, root for the home team. Yankee Stadium in New York City now carries a vegan burger, joining many stadiums around the country, including the Baltimore Ravens Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, and whatever sports team it is that plays out in Philadelphia. I don't know. I don't follow sports, guys. The burger is a black bean patty made by Bear Burger, and it's their signature Guadalupe burger. It'll have pickled red onions, tomatoes, alfalfa, and guacamole on a sprouted bun. All plant-based, all vegan. Yankee Stadium has also added a Chinese-inspired crispy buffalo cauliflower bao, and they also have field roast hot dogs available too, which, if you don't know about field roast, they make incredible mock meats. It's 100% plant-based. Can't go wrong. Got some sausages in the fridge, actually. Metro.co.uk is reporting that Melbourne, Australia is now the world's vegan capital. They have more restaurants, cafes, bars, all that are 100% vegan than anywhere else in the world right now. In Melbourne, it's even more popular to go out to eat at a vegan place than it is to go to a McDonald's. Can't say the same thing for the United States. Dr. Lauren Rosewarne from the University of Melbourne, Australia, says that this is a logical progression of the clean eating fad that's been sweeping Australia. I'm not even really sure what that term means, but whatever is making this happen, that's great. I actually know several vegan Australians online that are great activists. Car bomb just got vegan. Bailey's Irish Cream now comes in an almond version. They had a false start earlier last year, if anybody recalls, but now they have a 100% vegan offering out there. It's ready to go, and from what I hear, it's delicious. And the Israeli military now has 100% vegan, plant-based military rations. Israel has become the most vegan country in the world, mostly because of Gary Yourofsky, and an estimated 50,000 active duty soldiers are vegan themselves. With currently 4% of the population in Israel being vegan, the Israeli military has had to make many concessions. Starting all the way back in 2014, they had to create leather-free boots, gunslings, and many other things as well. Obviously, this doesn't address what's happening in the West Bank, but that's another issue for another channel. In the Spanish city of Taranga, a vegan restaurant called El Vergel has outright banned bottle feeding infants the mammary fluids from a species other than their own mother. They found their website and review websites inundated with massive amounts of negative reviews and trolls over this. Someone created an unofficial Facebook page for them to help get them positive reviews since they don't have a social media presence on Facebook for whatever reason. I'm going to look for it after I'm done with this, and if I do find it, I will link it down below and ask that anybody sees this, please go and give them a positive review to help support them. It's a vegan establishment. This is not a carnivore restaurant or a vegetarian or whatever. Any vegan restaurant shouldn't allow any animal products to walk through the door. It's the same thing as if somebody were to show up wearing a fur coat or a leather jacket. It's unacceptable. And they're not asking anything over the top at all. If you're not vegan, why? Don't go. If you've got a problem with the rules that they have, you shouldn't be going. And our story of the day is going to be about Gary Yourofsky and his retirement from social media, maybe a little bit more. In a long and detailed post, he laid out why he decided to leave social media, and this has been hugely controversial within the online vegan community, especially Facebook. I myself, when I had first heard, made a rant video because, frankly, I was very upset. I'm normally really PG and detached when it comes to these videos. Gary Yourofsky did more for veganism than many people. There are lots of people who have done a lot for this movement, but Gary Yourofsky was the first in our movement to know how to use social media properly to get the attention that veganism needs. There's really not anyone who has done quite what he has. If you search YouTube and you haven't seen it, his greatest speech ever video is one of the keystones to most of us becoming vegan. I saw it before I was vegan. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just called BS on it and, blew it off. It's something I watched later after I was vegan and was just floored by. A lot of things that he has said or posted online have been taken out of context. The screenshots have been shopped around by the social justice warriors, intersectionalists, kind of the same thing. It's not to put all intersectionalists in one ball or anything like that, but they tend to go together. Very few people know the actual definition of intersectionalism, and it's kind of corrupted the movement, which is happening a lot with everything. This is difficult to talk about because I don't want to get ranty or use a ton of profanity in the vegan news segments. When you finally break out of the cycle of speciesism, when you finally break out of the cycle of speciesism that very likely your parents and everyone before them for as long back as humanity has gone has been a part of, you're going to take heat. Now, along with that, he spent 18 years professionally advocating for the animals. Every single day he got spit on and treated like garbage. He did it because it's important. They don't have a voice. He firmly stands where many of us do, that veganism is not about humans. And when you bring human issues into it, no matter what they are, we are going to speak up. He spoke up. Now, a lot of these SJW intersectionalists, they will speak up when you speak up about that, and they will get very upset. And in that void of you not saying anything, they like to say that you're a bigot, that you're a racist or a sexist or pick one of the bigoted things that somebody can be. Now, one of the things that Gary does are things I do, and things lots of activists do. When you take a human issue, let's say rape, a lot of times I hear that I'm not allowed to call what happens to a dairy cow rape, or a pig, or a chicken, or whatever, because it affects a human woman or a man who has been raped. That's complete nonsense. If it does affect you and you're a vegan, then you're speciesist. And I will say something else in regards to this. when it comes to the rape of livestock on farms, it's actually worse than what happens to a human female or a male. Now, I've had it argued that it's worse because humans are more cognizant, we have more emotions, etc., etc. Again, that is speciesism. The reason it's worse for a dairy cow especially is because they become nothing but a baby and mammary fluid producing machine. On average, they will have around 5 children, and every time that child will be taken away. Their daughters will become milk and sex slaves like them, and their sons will go off to be yoked at the neck or kept in a very small confined space and live for around 6 weeks or so, depending on the program that they put them on, to become veal, or just to be sold at auction for $20 or $30 as a waste product. So when Gary Yourofsky responds that a woman who wears a fur coat should feel what it's like to be raped, just like the animal's flesh and fur she's wearing went through when they had an electrode rammed up their anus to kill them, electrocuting them to death, he's in no way saying that they should literally actually be raped in response. If you think that, your reading comprehension is very, very poor. Of course he doesn't think that. And he's made response videos and he's done plenty of interviews speaking about that screenshot specifically and other ones. He will be very greatly missed, and the only thing I and many other activists can hope is that he will recharge his batteries, take as long as he needs, even if it's years, spend time with his wife and his family, and come back in some capacity. He single-handedly made Israel. He single-handedly converted likely millions of people to becoming vegan through his speeches in person and the first one that was uploaded to YouTube that has, I would gather a guess, I've been looking, I can't be 100% sure, but from everything I've seen, it is the most viewed vegan video, animal rights video on YouTube, if not anywhere on any video platform on the entire internet. Maybe you don't like what he said or how he approached things and how he created that juxtaposition between human rapes and other human suffering issues and combine them with animals, but you can't discount the work he's done. And to constantly attack him and call him things that he obviously is not, it's not okay. There are a lot of people who think they're vegan, but they're not because they're so speciesist. They're in their own way. I wish Gary Yourofsky all the luck in the world, and I really do hope I get to meet up with him at some point down the road. We will see. I want to thank him for all he's done for the animals, the voice he's had, the things he's created. I will leave a link down below to adapt.org, his site that I have referenced tirelessly over the years. It presents everything in a very concise and fact-based manner. It is a site that I can only ever hope to build, along with the impact he's had. I can only ever hope to have that much impact in the career I'm trying to create and the advocacy that I strive for every single day. All of us should be Gary Yourofsky. All of us should be non-speciesist. All of us should be vegan. That's it for today, guys. I will be back next Friday. The new camera kept me, I didn't get it until late Thursday night, and it takes me about 8 to 12 hours to upload one video because my internet is so crappy. Hopefully that'll change somewhere down the line, but for now, this is the setup. The camera is great. Let me know what you thought of the footage. You guys have a great one. I love you all, every single one of you. Boba says hi, he's staring at me, so it's time to give him his food. Thank you guys. Have a great one. Love you.